Hello, hello, hello. My name is Tamira Bell. I am a Pennsylvania licensed realtor, and I just want to take the time to just welcome you to my channel or my social media platform, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever platform it may be. I'm just recording this video because I want to take the time to welcome you and also for you to get a chance to know who I am. So, with that being said, welcome. Once again, my name is Tamira Bell. I'm 20 years old, and I was born and raised right here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you know anything about Philadelphia, it's essentially the birthplace of the United States of America. So many historical events happened right here in Philadelphia. We have the Declaration Independence, it was signed here. We have the U.S. Constitution, it was signed and created here. You know, we have so many historical landmarks such as Independence Hall where those documents were signed and created. We have, you know, the Liberty Bell. We have the Betsy Ross House where the U.S. flag was created. We have Penn's Landing where Christopher Columbus came here in Philadelphia, although some people say he arrived in Chester first. Nonetheless, we have so many historical, you know, documents and so many historical landmarks right here in Philadelphia. And so out of all the places that I could have been born, I was born here. And I am just so blessed and grateful and happy that I was born here in a city that was basically the cradle of our nation. And it's a city that went down in history as, you know, being the beginning of it all. You know, so many other nations followed along, you know, after the U.S.'s, you know, governments and ordinances and laws and everything. You know, so many other nations looked to what America did. So it all that started here. So I am so grateful to be born here in Philadelphia. So, with that being said, once again, I am a licensed Pennsylvania realtor with Keller Williams, more specifically the KW Empower brokerage right here in South Philadelphia. So I am just so glad and astounded and just happy, you know, to have joined Keller Williams, to have joined their team, and they are very family oriented, you know, very welcoming. You know, they train their agents and realtors, you know, to achieve, you know, the best results in the real estate industry. And in fact, the KW Empower brokerage is the #1 brokerage, I believe, in the country. So KW Empower, we're kicking it. We're, you know, it's a really good brokerage. So I am so grateful to be a part of that brokerage. So, just to introduce this channel, am going to teach about real estate on this channel. I'm going to teach about whether it's, you know, buying your first home or, you know, selling your home or, you know, buying an investment property or buying land or doing a new construction, you know, things like that, the real estate laws. I want to be able to teach you and to educate you on all things in the real estate industry so that when you do decide to get into, you know, real estate or acquire your piece of real estate, that you're well educated and that you're well informed so that you can make the best decision and make the best choice. And hopefully if you live in Pennsylvania, you can use me as your realtor. So with that being said, I'm going to teach you about real estate. So I also want to talk about history. You know, like I was just saying, that Philadelphia has so much rich history. It is a historical city. So I want to take you around and show you the historical properties here in Philadelphia. I want to show you the landmarks, and I want to show you, you know, what took place here. And I also want to break down the architecture behind those, you know, landmarks. You know, because, you know, there's so many different architectural styles and so many different neighborhoods where there's different, you know, architectural styles or certain properties and houses. So I want to take the time to just teach you about the architecture here of Philadelphia, about architecture in general. So with that being said, on this channel, we're going to talk about, you know, real estate, we're going to talk about history, and we're also going to talk about architecture. So it's going to be so exciting. So nonetheless, to learn more about me, once again, like I said, I'm 28 years old. I am a daughter. I am a sister. I am a twin, in fact. My twin sister, she makes beautiful art. She makes furniture. She's a carpenter and a furniture maker and an artist and designer. So yeah, I'll have her on my channel as well if you want to furnish your houses. But yeah, so I'm a twin. I am also a PA realtor, like I said. I am a photographer. I am a cinematographer or filmmaker. I am a graphic designer. I am a software developer. I'm also an esthetician, so I'm an expert in the skincare industry. If you can see my skin, take good care of my skin. So I'm an esthetician as well. I'm so many things. Good at sewing. I'm literally, those close to me, they call me a jack of all trades. There's so many things that I'm gifted in, and so many things that I can do, which is a blessing and a curse at that in that way. But yes, I'm a jack of all trades. But most importantly, I am a Christian. I am a Christian. I believe that Jesus Christ, he came here on earth 2,000 years ago, that he was crucified on the cross, and that he, was buried, he was put in the tomb, and then on the third day that he rose again from the grave with all power and authority in his hands. And he came here to save men from their sins, to save mankind, to save women and men, children, old people, young people. He came to save everyone, the rich and the poor, black, white, Asian, Latino, European, whatever it may be. God came to save. Jesus, he came to save. So I am a firm believer in Jesus Christ. I gave my life fully to the Lord at the age of 10. I grew up in church, but at the age of 10, Jesus, he made himself so real to me where I could not deny it. He called me. So, at the age of 10, I devoted my life to the Lord, reading my Bible every day, praying, just seeking the face of the Lord, desiring to be in the presence of the Lord. So I've just grown so much from that time. So I'm 28 now, so that was 18 years ago. And God has just grown me and developed me and caused me to be a woman after his own heart. So on this channel, I'm not just going to talk about real estate and history and architecture, but I'm also going to talk about Jesus. I'm also going to talk about the Bible, Christianity. I'm going to talk about just having faith in God. And hopefully you'll be able to be encouraged. Hopefully you can make up your mind and say, you know what, Lord Jesus, I want you to come into my heart. I want to be free from sin. I want to be free from my shackles and my chains. So we're going to talk about God. We're going to talk about faith. And hopefully I'll be able to answer some of your questions. Some people, they want to come to God, but they have questions, or they want to come to God, but they're confused about certain things. And I believe just through my many years of just deeply studying the Word of God, just in my prayer closet. I went to Bible school and all that stuff, but just spending that one-on-one time with God, God has just revealed his word to me, and just a way that I can be able to explain the word in just such simplicity, So on this channel, I hope that I'll be able to answer your questions, whatever questions you may have. If that's that thing that's holding you up from coming to church, if that's that thing that's holding you up from saying, Lord, I want you to come into my life. Hopefully, I will be able to answer that question for you, because the Lord has just graced me with the ability to be able to teach his word. So also on this channel, I'm going to just share my testimonies. There's things that I've been through in life. There's trials and there's tribulations that I faced, But at the end of every test, God will give us a testimony. And I've been through some stuff, and I came out with a testimony. The Bible talks about how we're like gold that goes through the fire to be refined so that we can come out as pure gold. And, I'm still going through the fire, but every day I go through that fire, God is refining me. God is cleansing me, making me like pure gold, So I'll be able to share my testimonies here on this channel, and hopefully it would encourage you to keep the faith, keep the hope in God, because there is great peace in the Lord. There is freedom in the Lord. So yeah, on this channel, I am going to share my testimonies, and yeah, I got some very interesting stories. God is good; He's faithful, and so yeah, so that, and then also yeah, so that's pretty much it. I am, I just hope that you're going to be blessed by this channel. Hopefully, this is 2026. A lot of people did not make it to 2026. A lot of people thought they would be here, but they did not make it. But we thank God that He showed me, He showed you. If you're watching this video, you still have breath in your body. And we thank God that, you're here, that we're here to be able to see the year 2026. So hopefully in this year, you say, you know what, this is going to be the year that my life is going to change, and you don't just say it, you don't just believe it, but you act on it. So hopefully by this channel, you'll be motivated to say, you know what, I'm going to get up. I'm not just going to keep believing and hoping the blessings are going to come, but I'm going to go and chase down the blessings. I'm going to go and I'm going to put my feet to my faith. I'm going to put action, to what I believe. And I'm going to go and pursue. I'm going to prepare myself. I'm going to, increase my capacity so that God will be able to pour the blessings into my life, For instance, if you have a bowl that's full of food and, it's Thanksgiving, you have a plate that's so full of food that guess what? Someone, if they want to give you more food, they can't put none on there because the plate is already full. And a lot of times that's how it is. We have our plates, and our plates are so full with our troubles and our cares and our concerns and our burdens. And God is just saying, give me your plate. Let me clean off your plate. So now I can wash clean those burdens and those concerns and all of that. And I can fill it with blessings. So guess what? This year we're going to give God our plates. This year we are going to, empty out the negativity. Empty out the people that hold us down. If you gotta cut yourself off some people, do it. If you gotta get around people that's gonna motivate you and inspire you and cause you to be the best that you can be, then do it. But this is a year where we're gonna be like, you know what? My life is going to change. And it's not just gonna change because I'm sitting here waiting for it, but it's gonna change because I am going to change it. And it all starts with the mind. It starts with our mindset. So hopefully by you watching this channel, your mindset will change, and that you will say, you know what, I'm going to believe it, and I'm going to achieve it. So yeah, so this is going to be your best year yet, and yeah. So nonetheless, I pray that you're going to be blessed by this channel. So hopefully, you'll be inspired to grow in your walk with God, and that even, you'll be inspired to get into the industry of real estate. And I'm going to say this one last thing. There's certain industries that will never go out, and real estate is one of them. You have one industry, for instance, the medical industry. In the medical industry, people, they need to go to the hospital if they're sick. They need to take care of their bodies. They need to go to the doctors. So for overall health and well-being, we're always going to need doctors. We're always going to need hospitals. We're always going to need medicine. We're always going to need pharmaceuticals, vitamins, supplements. We need the medical industry. And then babies, they're always being born. So we're going to always need the medical industry. So therefore, the medical industry will never go away. As long as we have breath in our bodies, as long as people are being born and people are in this world, we're always going to need the medical industry. That's one industry. Another industry that we will need is the food industry. The agricultural industry. We're always going to need farmers who can grow our food. We're going to need people who know how to harvest our food. We're going to need people who know how to process our food, how to package our food, how to distribute our food. So guess what? We're always going to need the food industry because guess what? We have to eat. I know, I fast, and to people who maybe fast, but eventually you're going to have to eat something. So therefore, we're always going to need the food industry. So that's another industry that we're going to need. Another industry that we unfortunately need is the funeral industry. Everyone is going to die. It is appointed unto man once to die. So everyone is appointed unto man or woman, mankind. It's appointed unto them to be born. So someone is born, and then it's appointed unto them to die. So, everyone has to die. Everyone has a date, everyone has a death date, you know, and unfortunately, when that time comes, funeral homes, you know, funeral directors, they come, undertakers, you know, the barriers, they come and they comfort the grieving family and they take them through that process of being able to lay their loved one to rest. So therefore, we're always going to need funeral homes. That's another industry. Lastly, we're going to need real estate because guess what? One of the essential needs that humans need is real estate. Just like we need water, we need shelter. You know, we need a safe place to call home. We need a safe place to protect us from the elements outside, to protect us from the craziness of the world. So we're always going to need home. We're always going to need shelter. So therefore, that's where realtors and real estate agents like me come into play to help people be able to accomplish their dreams and their goals, whether it be the American dream of owning their own home. So therefore, we're always going to need real estate. And it's not just homes, but it can be land. It can be commercial buildings. So we're always going to need buildings. As far as we can remember from the beginning of civilization with Adam and Eve, we always had a need for shelter. So therefore, real estate, as long as we're here, as long as planet Earth is here, we will always need real estate. We will always need shelter. We will always need a place to call home. So, nonetheless, with that being said, hopefully I encourage you to get into real estate, whether it be your first home or whether it be your new home or whether it be an investment property, a rental property, land, commercial, whatever it may be. Hopefully on this channel you will learn about real estate. You will be educated so that you can make the right choices. So with that being said, I thank you so much for just taking the time to watch this video, and hopefully you are blessed and encouraged and inspired and motivated by this video, and hopefully you share this along with someone else. Please take the time to just share this with a loved one. Share this with a friend. Share this video with someone who you know is in the process of looking for a home, you know, or they're in the process of like, okay, I want to rent, but guess what? That same money you're paying for rent, you can have your own real estate. You can have your own home. You can build your equity and start creating generational wealth for your family. So nonetheless, like I said, I hope that you enjoyed this channel. I hope that you're blessed by this video. And I pray that 2026 will be one of the best years of your life. I pray that 2026 will be the year that your life changes. You can do it. Stay blessed, stay encouraged, stay motivated. You know, keep your head up high. Focus on the positive, focus on the good, and most importantly, focus on Jesus, focus on God. So God bless you. Have a great day, have a great year, and you will see me soon. I will see you next time. All right, goodbye.